Hey everyone, this is Nadia, the product designer at GitLab on the Verify Pipeline authoring team. And today I want to share a little bit about my experience setting personal OKRs this quarter. So this quarter was the first time I experimented with setting personal OKRs, and the goal for me was to use OKRs to track my progress towards my personal and professional goals. Well, I guess professional, professional goals. And Mostly, I based my OKRs on the recent performance review that I've gone through. So I've gotten lots of great feedback from my manager. I conducted lots of different exercises, like brainstorming exercises, to figure out what I want to focus on. For example, this is the mural board that I've been working with, kind of tracking my progress towards the senior product designer role, where I track how I'm doing in terms of all of the different responsibilities that the senior product designer has at GitLab, and then looking at the different GitLab values and how I'm living those values and what can I do to improve. This board is accessible, I think, for all GitLab members, so feel free to check it out if you want. And my process for setting OKRs was mostly based on this kind of exploration. So, thinking, what do I want to focus on? What are my personal interests? What things I should strengthen? And what are some things that I'm already doing well? Then I got feedback from my manager during the official performance review. And then I also looked at the UX department OKRs and the team OKRs that the pipeline authoring team had. So I tried to kind of find goals at the intersection of um, what the UX team is focusing on, what goals the pipeline authoring team is focusing on, and what are the things that I'm personally interested in. So at that intersection, I found lots of different opportunities to work on, and I set completely overambitious OKRs that were not attainable. But there you go. So this is my epic for planning the current quarter, which is ending, I think, today or tomorrow or something like that. And here I added issues that were directly tied to current UX OKRs, UX department OKRs. So I wanted to make sure that I contribute to those. And then I've set some personal OKRs for myself as well. So one KR was to conduct 2 solution validation cycles on the pipeline authoring team, um, make 3 merge requests to the handbook, to the UX section of the handbook related to knowledge sharing, cross-team collaboration, efficiency, and iteration. So I was able to make 1 merge request. I did really well with this KR where I wanted to share my work output more. I'll talk about it in a bit more detail in a minute. Um, I wasn't able to make as many contributions to the pajama design system as I wanted to. Well, it's not surprising. This quarter was very short. I took lots of time off. I took almost 1 month time off because of Christmas, and then I took another vacation. So, yeah, it was not really attainable on top of all of the other work that I'm doing. And I made 0 contributions to the pajamas migration OKR just because it was very difficult for me to accomplish that on top of everything else. My GDK is still broken, and I decided that, okay, I'm just not going to focus on it and try to do other things. But yeah, let's go to the retrospective now, because as you can see, my experiment wasn't very successful in the traditional sense. So I failed a lot of my OKRs, but I still think this experiment was very interesting and rewarding. Um, so first of all, I didn't put it here, but um, I have to say that it was great to quantify the work output and track it. So I was able to collect the issue links and just links to whatever contributions I was making, like sharing things on Slack. If you go to this OKR for sharing work output. Broadly, you'll see that I was just pasting Slack links, which is great because it allows you to document the work that you're doing, and then you can share it with your manager. And here you have kind of solid proof that you're doing the work and that you are contributing and in what ways. And it's just rewarding to see it yourself, honestly. So I did really well with this QR, and I think it was a really good QR because it got me into the habit of thinking, okay, how can I share this work that I'm doing so it has more impact? How can I leverage this work that I've done already to get more value out of it? And what is the best way to communicate this value so other people can easily access it and find it and quickly consume the content and get that value for themselves. So I highly recommend it to anyone who struggles with sharing their work broadly. I think it's a really powerful goal to try. And once you get into the habit of doing this, it kind of becomes effortless. And I think it's one of the easiest way to get more out of the work that you're already producing. And you know, using the work that you're doing to help others, because maybe someone will see what you're sharing, whether it's some designs or something about your process, and then they will be able to apply it in their workflow. Maybe it will make them more efficient, for example. So yeah, give it a shot. But this was really the only truly successful of my QRs, so I don't know if you should trust me. um, but yeah, I did spend quite a bit of time contributing to the Pajamas Figma UI kit. So I'm currently going through the Pajamas maintainer training. And I should be contributing more. Honestly, I feel like I'm moving very slowly, but I was able to make one contribution that got merged, and another one is almost done. So I think, given how short the quarter was, I think it's still a pretty good result, even though it's only 33%. So now let's move on to the lessons. So first of all, I think one of the main mistakes that I made was that I've set too many KRs and it spread my efforts too thin. Second, some of the QRs I've set up were dependent on many other factors, so they kind of weren't in my control. So one of the QRs was to conduct 2 solution validation cycles at Verify Pipeline Authoring, and given the big features that we've been working on and lots of back and forth and lots of time off, basically we were only able to go through several design iterations. It was needed, and we haven't really gotten to solution validation. So I gathered feedback internally, and I did my best to get as much feedback as I could from within GitLab, but I wasn't able to run any proper solution validation efforts, which is fine. But you know, in the future, maybe I would frame this differently. So if the goal is to find usability issues with pipeline authoring features, I could also do that in easier ways. You know, I don't have to run 2 solution validation cycles. I can just do like a UX scorecard perhaps, and I'm sure out of that I would create some good issues for us to work on. But yeah, this was one of the learning points. And then I had almost 1 month of time off this quarter, and looking at my OKRs, I really did not account for it at all. And I tried, but I always tend to set overly ambitious goals, and it's good that OKRs really pointed it out. So I can see now that I really need to scale down and have fewer goals for the next quarter. So yeah, if you want to give OKRs a shot, let me know. I can share my OKRs issue with you if you want to have a look. And maybe if you have been using OKRs more successfully than I have so far, please share your feedback and advice as well. And yeah, hopefully it can help you they help you quantify your work. It can push you a little bit when it comes to achieving your personal goals. And also, it helps you track your work so then you're able to share it with the UX team and your manager, which is always great when it comes to working towards a promotion or anything like that. Yeah, I hope you found it interesting. My kind of failure story, and maybe it will help you in setting your own OKRs. Thanks.